It is time for the Portal Podcast Top 100 Recruiting List.
Locked On presents The Portal, the daily podcast covering college football recruiting and everything NIL. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Into the Portal Podcast, where you get your daily recruiting, NIL, and transfer portal scoop. I'm your host, Brian Smith, longtime college football recruiting analyst. Make sure you check out this channel every chance you get because we're going to have recruiting breakdowns all the time. Like tonight, we're doing our top 100. We're going to get into what makes those prospects what they are and why they have separated themselves throughout the show. But if you take nothing else from it, it is not just what you do on the field that matters. It's all the things that you do off that separate you. And to that, let's just jump into the top 100. I'm going to do number 100 to number 81 tonight. I'm going to talk about where they're from, why I like them, what separates these individuals, and above all else, let's just have some fun with this. We'll do a little bit in the chat here in a little bit too. All right. These are some of the things that I think matter the most for those of you on YouTube listening or watching to this live. This is going to be pretty straightforward, but I'll read it out loud for you that are listening later on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you're at. Number one, what separates one top prospect from another? Well, a couple of things. Just being elite at football is great, but be elite at everything. Be a student, be a good person with your family, be a good person in public, and whatever you do, do not allow other people to drag you down. In other words, those around you. This happens too often to players, and many of them end up in a lot of trouble, whether it's academically, socially, whatever, and they cost themselves scholarship offers in a lot of NIL. Number two, what is positional value? Offensive tackle, defensive end, defensive tackle, corner, and quarterback. Those are the prime positions. Those are the players that end up getting the most value because they dictate who wins games more often than not. Number three, does a player go compete during the offseason? This is something that drives me nuts. There are certain players that are just awesome, but during the offseason, they don't want to be put on film because they're afraid they're going to lose a rep and somebody's going to put out a post on Instagram, on TikTok, or wherever. That's part of life. You're going to lose reps. Go get better. And finally, big-time players make elite plays during the most important games. What does that mean? Don't just show up against teams that you're never going to house. You have to make plays against the best players. I don't care if it's 7-on-7. I don't care if it's a camp. I don't care if it's a scrimmage. I don't care if it's the state title game in any respective state. The best players will show up on film when they're going against other guys with P4 offers over and over again. That's the bottom line. Now let's jump into the top 100. Here is my list, 96 to 100. Countdown, we're just going to do these five at a time. Kelsey Adams, offensive tackle, Langston Hughes High School, just south of Atlanta. He is committed to the Georgia Bulldogs, 6'6", roughly 300 pounds. He's been on the scene as a big-time recruit for quite a while. Adams is a kid that I knew when I first saw him a couple of years ago, Under Armour. I'm like, okay, this is somebody we know that's going to be a big-time player. Aidan O'Neill, defensive end out of Don Bosco, of course, one of the prominent programs on the East Coast out of New Jersey. Some people have him even higher than I do. He's committed to the Irish, and he may be better. I'm curious to see what Bosco does with him this year. Do they move him inside? Do they do anything else? Does he do something on offense? I think he's going to be very good, but I'm curious how much position flexibility he has. 98, Chris Whitehead, pretty much the same player as Aidan O'Neill, to be honest with you. He plays at Byrd High School in Virginia. He's got offers across the country. Tennessee, Ohio State, and numerous other programs have been after him. I'm sure that his visit list will be extensive, and it could still change, even though we're getting close to that point. One of the most coveted defensive ends in the class of 27. Princeton UAFO, and I hope I'm pronouncing that at least somewhat close to the correct way. Out of Siegel High School in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, he is committed to the Vols. He is massive. I list him as a tackle and a guard because I think he could play either. He's the rare guy that is a mauler, but has good enough feet and plays well enough in space that I believe UAFO could end up playing multiple spots for Tennessee. Jakari Lipsey, offensive tackle out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, Roy Norris High School. He will be a Wolverine, really good in space. This is a guy that fits the modern game because of his ability to climb to the second level and just be an athlete. Next up, 91 through 95. Brian Swanson, offensive lineman out of Dallas, South Oak Cliff, one of the best programs in the Southwest. Again, tackle or guard. He's not the tallest guy, but he's got length and speed. I think he's really underrated, and a lot of people probably don't rank him where they should. This is a kid that's going to be a multi-year starter at the P4 level. Adryan Cole, I'm going to talk about him extensively after we get done with the list. Safety out of Douglas County in Georgia. Ole Miss, he's got LSU, he's got Florida, he's got Georgia. He hasn't set his Ohio State visit yet, but that's another one. Elite prospect and great kid. James Halter, offensive tackle out of Central Catholic in Pennsylvania. That is a big-time program there in Pittsburgh. They've got like 3 or 4 offensive linemen alone. They're going to play college football. Notre Dame's got one. Penn State's got one. And if there's another kid going somewhere else too. Like they've really – I think Ohio State. Penn State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State, 3 linemen at the same school. So that's incredible. His father also played for Notre Dame. I think he will be a right tackle for the Irish. But James Halter, regardless of where he ends up, he's already advanced for his age in terms of technique. He's put in the time. 92, Stanley Montgomery, defensive tackle out of Archbishop Ryan, another kid from Pennsylvania, this time in the Philadelphia area, recently committed to Penn State. He has to work on technique, but he is absolutely a bull in a china shop. Stanley Montgomery is the kind of player that once he just adds just a little bit to his repertoire in terms of moves, that power will be accentuated even more. 91, Carlos May out of Ramsey High School in Birmingham, Alabama. Most people feel he will end up with the Auburn Tigers, but he has offers from numerous other programs, Ohio State, Georgia, etc. Carlos May is another big-body defensive tackle, over 300 pounds. He could definitely end up playing for numerous programs. Keeping on as we go down to 86 through 90, Keyshawn Telfair out of Euclid, Ohio. It's a famous program in the Buckeye State. He's headed to Penn State, one of the faster and more athletic corners in the country. The Nittany Lions get a good one from their neighboring state. Benjarvius Shoemaker, defensive lineman out of Choctaw County in Mississippi. He's going to stay home, play for the Ole Miss Rebels. He could be a defensive end in the 3-man line, or he could be an interior guy. I'm curious to see what Ole Miss does with him. They might move him around a lot. Really athletic. Number 88, Owazamalor Olababola. This is not just a good player, but a young man that has all the ability to be an elite player. And I'm not sure too many people realize what length does, but the first time that I met him and I had him stretch out his arms, I was pretty sure that's the longest kid that I'd ever seen. He's out of St. Peter's in New Jersey, really, really athletic kid. Jake Narod, John Hersey High School, and I put Pennsylvania, I don't know why, but he's really from Illinois in the greater Chicagoland area. He's going to Kentucky. It's one of the biggest surprises in this class so far. He's only started for 1 year. I want to see him do it again, but if he does, this is a kid that could end up in my top 10. 41 touchdowns to 2 interceptions last year. Incredibly talented young man. And number 86, Monsana Torbert Jr. out of Princeton High School, the greater Cincinnati area. He's committed to the Indiana Hoosiers. He's not the biggest corner, but man, can he run and change direction? Ohio State, Notre Dame, and several other programs would like to change his mind. Number 85, Santana Harvey, defensive end out of Lakeland, Florida, the Dreadnoughts, maybe the best name in all of high school sports for a nickname. Love that name. And he's also a player at one of the best programs in the country. Harvey's also elite as an academic kid, not somebody that just goes to school and gets it done. He goes there and he's elite. He's a 4.0 guy. I think every school in the country should want him, and his official visit list will show it. Schools across the country, Notre Dame, the Florida schools, everybody is after him. Ace Alston, speaking of Notre Dame, committed to the Irish, Anderson High School in Cincinnati, cornerback. He's not as highly ranked as he probably should be by some other services, in my opinion. I think he's a top 100 guy. Conservatively, he's top 150. Very physical. I think he could play nickel. I think he could play outside. I think he could play boundary. It doesn't make any difference. He's really good. Will Menzel, quarterback, Chandler, Arizona. Some people are even higher on him than I am, but I do like him a lot. Will Menzel is the absolute epitome of a gym rat, makes guys miss. He's better when people are in his face than he is when he's clean pocket. It's very unusual, but he can throw it on the run. Modern quarterback. He's committed to the Ducks, and so are the last 2 players on my list. Zane Rowe, out of Geyer High School in Denton, Texas, just north of Dallas. He's been on the scene for a long time. He's a future 50 kid for Under Armour. Very, very nice guy. Easygoing. Could be a tight end. Could be a defensive end. It doesn't matter. He's about 260 pounds. Athletic, powerful. He's really developed over the last year or so and put on some good muscle. Again, he will play for the Ducks. The other defensive end for the Ducks in this class, Rashad Streets, out of Millbrook High School in North Carolina. He is a pure speed rusher. No doubt about it. Rowe's going to be more your power guy. Streets will be your true speed rusher. Athletic, fast, everything. He can chase plays down from behind. I really, really like it. Now that I've gone through my first 20 for today, we're going to be doing this over and over again through the next week, talking about the top 100. A couple of points. I've talked about positional value a little bit today, and if you've noticed, D-end, offensive tackle, quarterback, these are not surprises. Position value matters a lot. And they're players that have went to camps, put themselves in front of the cameras over and over again. You're going to lose reps against the elite players. But if you go show up and compete, that's going to do something for me. And I know it does for my cohorts in the recruiting industry. Getting reps on the national scene matters. You don't have to win them all, but you got to be there to get on the scoreboard. That's very important. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the top 100, and we're going to talk about what it takes to be one of those players. And I'm going to talk most importantly about Adryan Cole, a guy I know very well. That is next, right here on the Portal Podcast. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here and every possession matters. If you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel has a great offer to get you started. Right now, new customers can bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you hit on that first bet. That's right, $5, and you can get $150 right there. All you have to do is check it out at FanDuel.com. You can check your stats, get all your trends, everything you need right there on the FanDuel app or online, wherever you get FanDuel. Make sure you check it out because everything's right there. If you want to talk about halftime scores, you want to talk about matchups, if you want to talk about trends in terms of who wins games in certain matchups, everything available right there at FanDuel. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, play your game. We are also brought to you by our friends over at Indeed. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill is still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need to make that right hire, it's a job for Sponsored Jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for, skills, experience, location, so you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's the stat that says it all. In the minute that I'm speaking to you, 27 hires on Indeed, according to their data worldwide. So if you're hired, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And you'll also get a $75 sponsored job credit to help you get the job that you want. Premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast. That's it, Indeed.com/podcast. This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Make sure you check out the Everydayer Club down below in the description. There is a link. You can get all your pods on the go without any ads. Check out the Everydayer Club. All right, there are a couple of different things that I talked about before the break about how I look at value for players, the position, their measurables, off the field, all those things. But let's put it into context. Adryan Cole is a young man that I brought up, and for those of you watching on YouTube, the thumb that I used, that's him. And if you're on some of the other sites, whether it's Apple or Spotify, it's the same person. He's a kid at Douglas County on the west side of Atlanta. Doesn't say much, really, really quiet, but he's cerebral. He makes plays on the back end as a safety. Doesn't want the fanfare or anything like that. Just wants to be a part of the team, go in and do what he does. But his offer list also speaks volumes. Georgia, Ohio State, Florida, Ole Miss, you name it, they've pretty much all offered. He's got an LSU visit set up, elite of the elite. If you want to be a prospect, or if you're a parent of a prospect listening and or watching this, you should probably find some people at least somewhat like Adryan. There's not a lot of kids like him, but off the field, it's more important to me than it is on in today's society. Because of cell phones, because of videos, the people that matter the most are going to find things out about you and all the people around you. He's not the kind of guy that's going to put himself in a bad spot. He's going to surround himself with people that want to get better, whether it's football or anything else. And he'll be a leader by not being somebody that's going to get himself in trouble or you in trouble. He's also going to be the guy that's going to pick you up on the field as well. And of course, that is the ultimate goal here. We're talking about football. So Adryan Cole is a great example of what it is to be a great football prospect. Not everybody gets that. They think that once they become a good player, not even a great one, a good player, that they can be different, that they can be flashy, they can say things differently, they can talk down to people. Coaches will find that stuff out, and those are the guys that get offers but don't get committable offers. Those go away. So with that, I'm going to dive into the chat. We'll see. I know Salty's in here, got a whole bunch of questions for me, but we'll have some fun. I'll mix it up a little bit. And if anybody has any questions about this later on, if you're on YouTube, fire away with questions. I'll come back in and check it out and have some fun. May I refer to this show as the Portal After Dark? Salty, if you want to do that, brother, fire away. I kind of like it, to be honest, but I'm going to do it a couple of times a week here during the summer. I won't do it as much until we get into fall, probably with the games and everything, but we'll have some fun with it here in the summer months. Salty, Notre Dame had 4 commitments last Friday and Monday, 2 per day. Signing days aside, can you remember them adding as much in such a short time? They've done it before, but it's been a while. I don't remember when. You'd have to ask Driscoll on that. He might know better than me. Salty, Champmon's committed to the Irish Friday, then 2 pass catchers, Johnson and Hawk, committed Monday. Is there a connection? These commitments were lined up by schools, Notre Dame or otherwise, to maximize exposure. So in some way, shape, or form, yes, there is. Where is Titus Hawk on your best football names ever list? High, very high. That is a great football name, Titus Hawk. I do like that. If Julius Jones commits to the Irish, will Brown have solidified his position as a top recruiter for the Irish? It wouldn't hurt it. He's done pretty well the last couple classes, that's for sure. Salty, what will the quarterbacks and wide receivers do in the summer, and to what degree will coaches influence it? Well, they tell them what they want to work at. Nebraska, San Diego State, Delaware, it doesn't matter the school. You have a priority list on not just who needs to get better, but which positions, how they want them to work out in terms of, hey, this is let's say it's a receiver. It's the one position somebody is really good at, but if they could take their game just to that next level, they could really destroy a defense. Or maybe one kid's not good at a comeback route or whatever. Anything they need to work on, that's what they're going to focus on. It's pretty straightforward from talking to people over the years that I've had the opportunity to be around. How are Notre Dame's quarterback Teddy Gerard and Champ Mons assisting the staff with receivers and tight ends? What is their role in the recruiting process? I mean, you could ask kids to help, but it's got to be on them, man. More than anything else, recruits have got to do it because they want to. You can't force recruits to help a staff really get involved, but it matters if a quarterback will. What are the characteristics that make for a good receiver, and which additions or enhancements take that good receiver to an elite one? It's a great question. Wow. Speed, size, and just the ability to catch the football regardless of what's going on in their peripheral, whether somebody flashes their hands across their face, concentration, hand-eye coordination. All those things kind of mean the same thing. I'm going to catch this football regardless. I don't know if you can really go beyond that without just saying like 4.3 40 speed, sure. The ability to shake people, absolutely. But really, at the end of the day, it's technique, technique, technique. If you're really good at routes, you have really good hands, you're in this conversation, you're already a good athlete, then it's just technique, technique, technique. Salty, would you rather have a consistently very good receiver or an average receiver who occasionally has an explosive? Give me the guy that's upper echelon on a consistent basis. Leon, Champ Mons was Miami lean. At one point, he might have been. Salty, how do you split hairs on a 99 and 98 recruit, let's say, on your list? Position value is one thing. Off the field, like what do I know about that kid, his family, people around him? Those are factors. What kind of competition he played in high school, in pads, as well as did he go compete in the offseason, 5-on-5, 7-on-7, Under Armour camp, Rivals camp, anything else local that he could do. Those are the young men that end up being the most successful, in my experience. Those who go out on a limb and just goof off in the offseason, even if they're ultra talented, those are usually the ones that don't do very well. So just saying. I know that I've kind of switched things up with the Portal podcast by going to some night pods. I'll still do occasional daytime podcast and have some fun, but we're going to switch tonight. I think long-term it'll be better for people. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to do the countdown again, probably starting Sunday night, I believe. I'll do one and then just kind of go from there. We'll see what it ends up being, but I'll let everybody know by Sunday morning when the next one's going to be. Going to do number 61 through number 80, and then just continue on as we get closer and closer to number 1. Thanks very much for checking out the Portal Podcast. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends. A lot of fun over here. We're going into recruiting season. This is my time. Commitments, going to be breaking down what's going on around the country and just having all the recruiting information come through here, just discussing who's the top classes and everything else. So Brian Smith signing off here with the Portal Podcast. Everybody have a good one. We will see you again soon.